so that the results can fit. So you can see VAR basic, two variables, stock and price, the rag length of 1, and the steps of 8. And we also have the IRF. So that is the code. And then we have the results. What we should interpret, or what is very important in this case, is the coefficients and the p-values. Remember we said, even though we want to interpret the coefficients and the p-values, we also need to interpret the IRFs and the variance decomposition. So we start by interpreting the coefficients. We start by interpreting the coefficients and the p-values. So this output here is the same as this. So I have marked these coefficients. It is the same with red and the p-values with red. So now, remember we included a lag length of 1. That means the current stock prices and the previous stock prices and the previous interest rates. So what we are looking at, how is the current stock prices affected by the previous period's stock prices, T minus 1, and the previous period's interest rates, T minus 1 as well. So the same case to interest rate, how is current interest rate affected by the previous stock prices and the previous interest rates? So it is T minus 1. So stock prices, the current stock prices is given here. Then we look at the effect of the previous stock prices, L1. L1 means lag 1. L1 means lag 1, or what we are referring to as T minus 1. So the coefficient here is 0.9979, which is positive, and the p-value is 0.000. Because it is less than 0.05, it is significant. Then we look at the lag of interest rate, p minus 1. So this is the coefficient. This is the p-value. P-value is not significant. Then we have the constant. So the same case for interest rate. The current interest rate, it is affected negatively by the previous period of stock prices, and it is very small, 0.00098, and it is not significant. But it is positively affected by the previous period's interest rate, 0.05, which is also not significant. So I have summarized these results here. You can see this one. So stock prices, the current stock prices T, is equal to negative 2.17. Negative 2.17 is this one here, plus 0.998 multiplied by stock prices T minus 1, or the previous period's stock prices, which is this one, plus 0.826, which is this one, the previous period's interest rates, and then we include the error term. So that is how you represent that output. So when you are explaining, you say the previous period, the current stock prices is positively and significantly affected by the previous period stock prices, and positively but non-significantly affected by the previous period's interest rates. That is what I have written here. Current stock prices are significantly affected by its past values, like 1, but not past values of interest rates. The same case, current interest rate, that is interest rate T, are not significantly affected by its past values, because the past values you can see here is not significant, and past values of the stock prices, which are also not significant. Then you can write the equation like that. So you'll be able to see that this equation here and this equation here is the same as what we had. It is the same as this. We can see that maybe this one is the stock prices, the previous period stock prices, or let's put it here, the current stock prices, the previous period stock prices, and the previous period's interest rates. So this alpha 1, this alpha 10, alpha 11, alpha 12, these are the coefficients that we have. These are the coefficients that we have. This alpha 11, alpha 12, alpha 10, alpha 11, alpha 12. So that is how we interpret the coefficients of VAR. And you can be able to see this is the same concept of ordinary least square. That's why we are saying that the technique that we use to run the analysis is actually the OLS.